Okay, hello back. So now it's about implementing all of the Windows and the UI data and stuff. And yeah, so I just made some changes right now compared to yesterday, where I removed the hash set here to track which objects are rendered. And then I had this nice idea, and then I started to record. So the nice idea was, and the two big problems yesterday that I didn't figure out yet. So this interface and all is nice, right? The two main problems were, so if you look at the window, as I explained yesterday, the window has no notion of being visible or not, right? So toggling the visibility and getting the current status is done over the window manager, which is how it's meant to be, to kind of decouple that, right? So UI objects are just user controlled. If they're drawn, they're visible. If not drawn, they're not visible. But with Windows, you just want easier control, and this is where the window manager comes in, which handles layering and visibility of the windows and stuff. And then a big problem is like a motivation from the start, like a kind of feature that's necessary for UI system is obviously updates, but also the correct order of updates, right? And if we concretely think about this, like here, for example, like this, right? So here I actually set the window to like view and float. So this window is floating, for example, above the other window. And so if I would draw both the IDE in the back and this window, I would first draw the IDE and then this floating window. But when it comes to updating, I want to update this window first and then the window behind it, right? For example, if I hover here and if I click, it should update this window first and then register the click and then like consume the action, so I don't click on the kind of thing behind it. So yeah, the observation is that the update order is kind of the inverse of the draw order. And yeah, and I mean, this is something that I didn't address at all here, right? So how I did it, I quickly touched on it last time. I implicitly reference count or like track the object when they're created. So I have this in the constructor of each UI object, which registers the object, adds it to an internal vector, and then I just run this update method each tick at the end of the update tick, so the UI components get the data. So like during the tick, something happened, like your player health maybe changes. Then, because the UI drawing happens in the draw tick, which is separate from the update, right? So the update can happen at the end of the update tick and is still kind of in front of the next draw tick. And just keeping in mind that draw ticks probably happen more often than update ticks, because right now it's configured at a static tick rate of like 60, right? Like magique uses a fixed update tick rate, and the frame rate is most likely something like 120 or something, or at least 100. So render ticks happen a lot more often. Okay, and so the idea was that I can, in theory, track the order in which the objects are rendered, and then internally reorder this vector, so I can control in which order they are updated, so they are updated in the correct order. Yeah. One thing is that I have to make it easy or like just understandable for the user. Because a user might ask it's themselves, yeah, how are my objects updated, right? If I have like these windows, if I, for example, I do have this concrete UI input methods that you can consume, right? Which is what I just talked about earlier with the floating window. Yeah, then it obviously they have to be updated in the correct order so the consumption happens and correctly. And now I could do this for the windows pretty easily, right? Because once I add the window is managed by the window manager, and then internally I have access to all the windows, and I can just update them in the right order and stuff. This is not really a problem, but for the rest of the UI, there was no guarantee of any other. The thing I'm just like the thing that just popped up is, I mean, this is also something talked about yesterday, right? So the assumption was with this new redesign that apart from Windows, there is no real concept of layering, right? So I guess, I mean, I can do it regardless, right? It's a cool thing. Okay, so let's look at this concretely. I need to go into the UI object here. I actually just deleted this method in here. So this is where I deleted this straw call method. So before that I added it to a hash set, but this is just completely obsolete because I can just save it and then later on, when after the object's updated, just reset the flag. So I don't need the hash set at all. Just save some runtime. Yeah, but what I want to do is I kind of want to track and the order where all the objects are drawn, and then so that the last drawn object should then be updated first, right? Yeah. So yeah, these are my two vectors, and I do have the distinction between the containers and objects, which makes this more annoying. Because yeah, what I can just do is I can first of all I can delegate this in here. Just call this. Okay, and then yeah, so the problem is I can't just kind of create a new vector and push back. Because I can't fill up a vector from the back, right? The other method is just I guess you use a queue and then just add front. Yeah. Or the other method is to just reuse this existing vector. Oh, okay, alright, so that's yeah. So yeah, let's finish this. So yeah, the idea is to maybe reuse this existing vector and just always, if I get a draw call, if I register draw call, just move this element up to the front, right? And just do this over and over again, and so the last drawn object will be at the front then. And so the new idea I just had was this internal registering has a problem where it doesn't work with statically declared things, right? If I declare my UI object like this, so then it's like statically declared, right? It's not tied to any object, so As soon as the program starts up, the constructor runs. And then it's kind of, I don't know if there's an exact order in which the static initializers run and stuff. And I guess it's fine to kind of treat this as random, right? I guess it's kind of related to how in which order the headers are included and stuff, but you can't really control them. So it's kind of random. So it doesn't work pretty much. So if I declare an object like this, which can happen, for example, if I just make an example and you just declare an object like this and then it doesn't get picked up by this method here, because like this internal data is not created yet, because this is also declared statically, right? And as I said, the order is kind of random. And so, I don't know, this, I tracked this down once, so this method might run, it might get added to the container, but then before the object was initialized, right? And at some point it's initialized and then the container is wiped or something, I don't know, it's, yeah, it doesn't really work that. And so, I guess by registering draw call, right, yeah, so I used it by register by using the draw call. I get information about the object, right? So even if the object was not picked up at the start, if it's drawn, I can add it. The problem you might see is that well, if an object is just not drawn, right? And this is also something that's possible. If you have an UI component that's just in the back, maybe something like a pop-up window that tracks the player, right? And if the player like dies 5 times, it then shows up. And so, yeah, with this new method, objects would only be added to be updated if they are drawn. And this, yeah, and so this kind of whole thing is done so the objects are updated automatically and regardless of if they're drawn or not, right? So this was a core kind of feature, right? So even if they're not drawn, they can be updated in the background. So yeah, but the thing is we can just combine the two, right? So every time a draw call is registered, I can check if it's already contained, and if not, add it. Problem with this is that it's kind of a weird behavior, right? Yeah, where I can't really say static declares are supported, right? Because they're kind of not. Only if you draw them, right? Then everything works as kind of described. But yeah, I don't know if there's like a workaround for that even, right? Because at some point I have to just track it internally, and I could make a method. That's pretty easy. Sure. Yeah, I like that actually. So I guess I'll make a method for that. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird method and it's kind of it's kind of weird, I guess, to describe what this method does. I probably also should use like a long name for this. Okay, so yeah, the only problem is that it could get kind of expensive, but I don't know. So again, I guess I add the hash tabs back in. What I'm gonna do, yep, I'm just gonna make one set, then register object, I just checked, set, insert this object, and it's gonna be const. Yep, but I need to do more things. Oh, problem is containers, right? That's annoying. Is there no other way? Because the problem is the registering happens in UI object constructor, which is called from the container, obviously, right? You have to call the subclass constructor. So what I did, I just called it again, and you know it's this is guaranteed to run after, right? So this subclass constructor is guaranteed to run first, and then this runs after. Yeah, and then what I just did is, if it's a container, add it to the container and pop the last from the objects, right? Because this was then added from the subclass constructor, which is pretty hacky, but I mean it's guaranteed to work. Yeah, but here the problem is that this method is not virtual, so it's not overridden, and so yeah. So this method is called for the same, it's called in the same way from both the UI object and the UI container. So I could make it like a dynamic cast here, but I'm not using type information, and I don't want to use it. Yeah. I could declare this method. It's also pretty hacky, because then it hides the other method. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can read up pretty quickly what this hiding means exactly and what's the calling convention then. Because I guess for the user it's the same, right? Like you will never spot this really as a user if you're not really into C++. You just call from the outside, you just call draw and it's fine. So I'm gonna look this up real quick. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, everything what I guess expected. The only problem is if you, so the UI container is a UI object, right? So you can access the UI container through a pointer of the base object, and if you then call the method, it's not polymorphic, right? So it calls the UI object method. Yeah, which is a problem. For example, if the user has a bunch of UI containers and treats them as a UI object, calls draw, then yeah, the correct draw method is not called in fact. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, this is annoying. Maybe I just then yeah. Wait, what? Okay. What's um, how does it derive for this track method? Because this is public right now. Problem if I make public virtual method, it can be overridden by the user, right? Right. The other option would be to give the UI object the a type here. Yeah. But I don't know how I would assign this type. The constructor, right? Because these constructors are public. So the earliest I could set this type would be like in here. At this point, base constructor would have already ran, so I get the same problem. Yeah. I guess I can do this. Why is it actually? Oh, it was something about the constructor. Oh, I guess it's private. This is annoying. Okay, just then forget all of this actually. Just don't allow static objects. Okay. Anyway. Such. Um yeah. Okay, let's at least do the sorting. Yeah, the problem is that I don't know if it's a container here as well. Jesus. Do I need this? Do I really need this? I could make it different. I have to think about. So I could do is I could just make a separate list, obviously, for the containers, and then update the list separately. But then I would have duplicates inside the main list, so I need to have set for the containers. Yeah, but the problem is do I even need this? So when I implement the sorting now, if I would implement the sorting as it is, then the onDraw, yeah, so it triggers the onDraw of the container, which then registers the call for the container. So yeah, so it seems, so for this then, so the container would be updated after the contents, because then inside here you would draw the contents, because the container is responsible to visualize its children, so the children would technically be called be drawn later. Yeah. Okay, so after some pondering, I just made UI container friend struct. I can access private data, and then set this is container to true in the constructor of the container. So I still need this hack, right? Because the UI object constructor still runs before. But the hackiness is contained in this method, and as soon as it's done, I always can clearly decide between if it's a container or not by just using the using the variable. And the good thing is, even if it's declared statically, the variable is still set. So if then the user calls drag object, which I can implement now, I can just call global UI data.register object and call this container the method, because this will then be set, and then it's correctly set. And so what happens? By default, it will be pushed back, which will be updated first. Yeah, which we will, which we will change right now. Right the fuck no. So, okay, so here in the register call we're finally doing what I said earlier. We want to move it up to the front. I guess the best thing to do, yes, just take the just move the element up front. The problem is I then need to move all other objects, right? So yeah, I guess the actual procedure, what to do. So if you move a random object from a vector to the front, I guess the minimal operations are you copy all. I mean, okay, there's two ways you could do it, right? But the easy way would probably just take all elements, you copy it. Okay, you can't copy it to the back because you don't have the space. Damn. So okay, so the object you want to move to the front, you need to assign it a temporary. And then, yeah, move everything from the front up to the moved object, like before the moved object, one back. Right, and then the first place is free, and then assign the temp to the first object. That's the actual procedure. So I guess we can actually directly implement this. This is not too bad, and I guess there's no better way. Of course, we could make these vectors like queues or whatever, but I don't know. I have this nice little custom kind of vector type that I don't want to include more standard types. So yeah, I guess we actually just implement this procedure. Right, maybe I can visualize it. So it is if these are like the individual elements, right? And then I want to move 3 to the front. I first assign 3 to temporary, then I move everything up before the element 1 to the right. So then I have, this is like empty, 1, 2, like this, and then I assign the temporary to the first slot, which will then be moved. Damn, I actually like this. I'll just leave it in here then. So yeah, and then I'm doing this separate for each whether it is an object. So objects and containers have the separate vector, which then it makes sense again. So earlier I said the problem is then technically it is the object, like it is the container that's being drawn first, because then inside the draw method of the container, the children are drawn. So it would seem that kind of the container is drawn first, but in reality you probably draw the window then last, right? So you draw the children. Right. I mean, you actually draw the window first, though. Then you draw the children on top. So then the children are updated. Man, this is, I know it's always a bit confusing, but then I guess it actually fits. Well, let me think about this again. So if I mean, I guess we can visualize it again, right? Moving to the front, and then we have drawing a container. So I guess first you draw the container, which is then updated. So it's drawn first. So it's updated last. Which I guess makes sense actually. So do I need this then? And so then children is drawn did earlier. Right, and then if I right, and then if I update it, if I then walk this update tree, so then I update the children first, then right. So I guess it would make sense, but I still want the container to be like updated first because I mean this is the contract I specified. And it also makes sense that the container is kind of updated first. But yeah, I mean it would actually then fit. Yeah. Guess I can leave this here as well. Well, actually not, because it's not what actually happened. So okay. Then I guess we directly do this. So what I have, I just have a vector of pointers. So I can get the array, so I get const, oh what a point there, cont is contains the data, then moved, so I need to find the moved element, which is an iteration, which is expensive, I guess. And yeah, I don't need to add back this. Okay, yeah, so otherwise I have many instances. Yeah, so I do need to find the position of the container. Guess I can do this as well. Yeah, I guess this is a bit, I mean, it's a hash lookup, but for each draw call. But then again, it's UI. I don't know, it should be fine. But I could make a config option. I see that being, because I don't know, I would guess we have in a range of, I mean, this is on draw call, so it's like drawn elements, not updated elements. Actual drawn elements, I don't know, I don't think there's like more than 15, like 20, maybe 50, right? But that's on a large side already. You don't have this much UI. And then it's like in a web performance matters, like where the game runs, like a game overlay, right? If you have menus, you have more, but then you don't care. So I guess it should be fine. Okay, so I do need to find the index. I guess I can use the file name. Can make it -1 and then interesting. No, that's not what I want. I want element index not equal to -1. So if it is a container, but yeah, we have the container data. But actually this is gonna be a full-on duplicate. So I can define the method. As a lambda here. I guess you don't actually need the const. I need a vector, UI objects, and a object, and then I don't actually need any captchas, which is nice. So that's easier for the pilot to optimize, from what I know. So, yeah, I don't need a reference here. I could just say en object or O. Object exists. Internal error, because then the internal state is not consistent with how it should be. Yeah, if O equals object, yeah, I guess I need a for I loop, but actually, yeah. So this, right, so I have my custom type return size as an int actually, which is nice. So I just pull the size out the front, just delete this. If this, then this, and I can do right, first need to assign the index. I guess yeah, I can make this 0 and then use this. Temp is not equal to null. Temp. Actually, that's a life hack. Right, because if they equal, it can be both used interchangeably. Shouldn't matter though, it's funny. Okay, so then I have the temp, and then I do a mem copy. And I can do that because it's, you know, it's trivially copyable, trivially destructible, because it's just a number, right? So destination, it's 1 after the element, so. And I bet there's like some pitfalls with this, right? Like what if it's the last element moved? But that's fine, right? To take everything up to the last element. What if it's the first element that's moved? Yeah, I guess I need to check that, right? But that should actually be the cases. And I need to break, that's what I wanted to do earlier. If class 0, I can return. Okay. Sort up front with containers. Whoa, up there is this object. And then here, sort up front the objects. Damn, like why? Okay, I guess this is a lot. Okay, like this, save some space. Okay. I mean, actually, this is impossible now because I'm inserting it here, right? Yeah, damn, it's fine. Yeah, so I checked this case, so that should be fine, and we can. So the destination is then. Right. Okay, so this is a bit of a problem. Okay, so because I need the starting point, so I need to know how many elements are being moved. So if I want to move the 3, right, I assign it a temp. Yeah, then I need to copy everything from the front. So, I mean, I can just say like the start? Can I just do this? The size. Times size minus 1. Brackets. Parentheses. Right. So I just copy the whole. Right, but up to the. Damn, I mean, this is more complicated than I thought. But so I just need to copy up to the thing. So specifically, I need. So I need to copy from the front, which is the source, to the destination, so just one back, which is fine, and then, and not the whole size, but I just want to copy element index minus 1. So this is like this, off by one thing. So if 0, 1, and 2, so this is an index 2, and then I only want to copy, yeah, I want to copy like 16 bytes here, which is I guess not minus 1, so it's index 2, so 2 elements, right? Yeah, so then I copy the beginning of the array, which is these. I copy it to the beginning of the array plus 1, which is this position. And I'm copying element index many elements, starting from here. So 0, 1, and 2, there's 2 elements, like element index is 2. So I'm copying 2 elements, which should describe the operation. So it's fine. And then no, on 0, it's just our temp. I mean, I don't even need the temp actually. What am I doing? because I know the temp is my object, right? Okay. Okay, I mean, we can run this, but okay, so I can copy this from the multiple windows. Okay, what color was that? I guess I just go for light gray here, and then idle was like light gray. Okay, default main counts. Maybe I can remove it from draw. Right, I need the color. Okay, so I have to leave it. But I guess it's good for the example to like be explicit, right? To show that it's not rocket science, it's all just simple real functions. Okay. Yeah. Okay, what else? Okay, now it's built and okay, throw a lot of unreserved externals. Okay, now it's like actually implement things you want to implement. Better late than never. So what we're missing is first of all the window match. Alright, so let's generate all of these. Maybe while I do this I can explain why we see two of each method. That's just to keep the interface as simple as possible and explicitly show the types with which you can call these methods. I mean, you could use various techniques to eliminate the methods. You could use templates. You could use an identifier, like a runtime type that automatically stores either a pointer or a name. Yeah, but all of the options just make it complicated, right? Because in the end it comes down to understanding that you can just, instead of passing the pointer directly, you can directly identify the window by name. And yeah, I don't know, I just want to make, I just want this to be as easy and understandable as possible. And then here I want to do like get get is in front of. That's actually an interesting method. But I just want to get a web window. So I guess I'll get a the pointer back. And yeah, I guess that's it. Maybe there's a few more, but like this util section is for like layering util, right? So yeah, because as I said, like the UI objects themselves don't have the concept of layering. And so like one window is on top of the other one. Oh no, I mean, now that I think, now that I think about it, but it should actually be handled, right? The update out of the windows. I guess it should be handled through the sorting already. Because whoever the one that's run last now is updated first. Right. I mean, the other option, maybe I could just delete all of that and just iterate through the arrays backwards. What about that? So I can just keep pushing back, and just iterate backwards. Which I guess I'll actually do. I don't know, maybe there's a problem with that, but I don't actually think so. I mean, I need to then... Yeah, so I then don't need to move it to the front, but I need to move it to the back here. Does this change anything actually? Guess it doesn't change anything, right? So once, and also what I said, this is just a registering phase, which doesn't actually matter for the order, right? What actually matters is just this, the drawing. And so if I move it to the back or to the front, it just changes what elements I copy, right? If I want to move it back, I assign the temp again and then copy from the back one to the left, and then I assign the... So it doesn't at all matter actually. Yeah, because eventually you need to sort them. What I could do, although, just make a new vector each frame, or like have a sorted vector, or like have a draw vector. The problem with that is, so then I have, if I register a draw call for an object, I add it to a vector, and then in the next tick, I update these. Yeah, then I can eliminate all the sorting. I don't know, just thinking. So the problem with this could be that yeah, for one, I don't know which elements were updated or not, right? Because then what I have is like a list of all, and then the list of the drawn ones. And if I update all of the drawn ones, I don't know what out of all objects have been updated and which objects have not been updated. So I guess I would need to like iterate through, or like make another hash set. I could just make a hash set for the render objects, but the hash set has no order, and the order is crucial in this case. Yeah, so there's lots of methods, right? There's lots of ways to get to Rome. There always are. It's a nice thing, which is the nice thing about programming, I guess. Yeah. And of course, I mean, there wouldn't really be any overhead with creating a vector, or like filling up a vector each tick, because it would be pre-allocated. So the storage, after a few iterations, the storage would be there. Just about filling it, which is just the memory access, which would be cached, so it's pretty much instant. Yeah, but then the problem is knowing which elements have been updated and which haven't. And this, like this, all elements are still in the same vector. The vector is just resorted. And yeah, what's going to happen is that objects that are not drawn often are just gonna lie in the back, and yeah, they're not gonna be touched from the sorting. And on the front, yeah. The problem, like an optimization, the problem is even if the order stays completely the same, the computation will always be equally expensive, right? Because every time an object is drawn, it's automatically moved to the front, even if at the end of the tick the vector looks exactly the same as last tick. Yeah, but I don't think there's anything I can do here to like Please use explicit cast. I mean, why is this a problem though? It's just a pointer to a pointer, right? Like, it shouldn't matter. Okay, I guess. First telling me to do it, then it's redundant. I don't know, but it's doesn't. Yeah. Okay, so let's implement the window manager, which is pretty straightforward. It's just some boilerplate, really. So window.draw. Yeah, I don't even have the internal structure yet, so I need. This needs to be a std vector because I have to return it to the user. Just like in the other header, I'm gonna make this a struct. So the data is just organized inline window manager data wmt data initialize, then here just return window data.windows. Yes, it can be made static. Everything here will be. Okay. So window manager draw, we just iterate through the windows and we call dot draw on it. Guess that's correct. Always kind of declared as a pointer, auto pointer instead of auto. Yeah, so this is only for the draw order, right? So we draw in the order which they are in the vector, which throws another problem at us, because here I say it can be accessed in the order they're added, but then I have to kind of make this work, right? And yeah, then I have a problem. So I remove this, which I really like, which I actually I like to remove it right now, because then otherwise I'm gonna have to make like two separate vectors and remember the original mapping and then remember the current mapping, and I'm gonna delete it. Yeah, but then I can't, so then I can't, then I do not allow access by index, right? And that's, so that's always a big thing, right? Because if you can access something by index, right, I could use like a Python script or something pretty easily, or like anything. I can interact with it programmatically, right? As soon as I'm using strings, I don't have this kind of for loop nature, right? Like if I can do anything with an index, I can do for I and then get something with this index. But as soon as I'm using a string, this kind of goes out the window. Literally. Yeah. And yeah, and then the question I ask myself, okay, is the use case limited enough where you will never need this kind of index, right? In this case, I don't know, if you have like an application where you spawn like 100 windows, I don't know, maybe in your game you have like a feature where like maybe a computer simulator, and then you click something on your computer and then like a million pop-ups happen. And these would, I guess, all be like individual windows. And then I don't know, you need a way to programmatically like control them, right? You then want to say add window. You don't necessarily want to give them a name, right? Because this is then awkward, because then you would have to do like std string, std to string, and then use your like integer. So then you assign them basically name by integer, and then, and sure, I guess you could do that, right? And this would actually be pretty fast as well. This would be fine. Yeah, you could actually use this. I'm just thinking about, right, this would be a temporary string. So actually be fine because the past string is copied. Right. So it's actually temporary. So I guess you could just wrap each call like this. That's fine. I don't know, I actually like this now that I think about it, it's fine. But it kind of just dissuades you from like doing this kind of like programmatic, like procedural access. So it's still, the other one looks better, but I guess the actual feature set is somewhat equal. Okay, so you can just push it back, and then, yep, I need another. Just then, I guess I can reuse a class I made earlier, internal types, like name mapping, contain name mapping. I guess I want to use like because I have multiple name length variables. I don't know how to put it. I guess in core. Maybe I make a separate one. Controls the maximum length of names for these things. Window. Things. Window match. Date table. And what's the last? DOI mapping something. Hello? Oh, UI object. I'm just reusing this. But that's all for the container name. Okay. So nice. Okay. children. Damn. Okay, and the UI container. So this is then fine. Then I guess I can delete the rest. I just leave the section up. Data table and then UI container. So that's the data table just. Okay, I just deleted it. Okay. Okay, yeah, the problem is I can't reuse the same class because I'm using an index. Yeah, I can't use an index because the index can change, so I'm just mapping it to the window pointer. Why can I use that class actually? I didn't include it. I'm not here including entire types. Why? Because of the container mapping. Okay. Okay, I guess it's on. So yeah, I mean the internal types are protected behind this namespace to yeah, not pollute anything. I'm gonna close the windows. Okay. Okay, so I'm just calling draw. The name is then mandatory. So I guess I can do that again. And W data, I don't know. WM data, I guess window data, but it's so long. Second is this. Yeah, I guess first I have to create it. So then back to mapping. Then I have to copy this in. Yeah, I just want to make a method for that, and I would want to reuse that method. Let's jump to this, jump to that. Okay, I mean, I almost don't want to implement it twice, right? But I guess it's nothing crazy, just... Because I can just fully copy this. Sure, I guess that's fine. if the past name actually is the same here. Return m.window perfect. Yeah, I do not want that. No. So with such name. Log warning is a macro, which is actually from relib. But we need to include our header, so then it becomes a macro. Yeah, I guess it's a bit dangerous, but I'll worry about it later. Remove window. Right, yeah, now it comes to thing. So internally, I guess I want to optimize that so it's not implemented twice. What's the best way to do that, actually? I guess best way is to make a method here. White remove window. Guess we can make it a template. But then I'm just gonna have, I mean, it's, I think I'm not getting around implementing the loop twice, but that's fine. So then I just get a T pointer here. Then if standard is same v const jar else yeah, what is actually the best way? Because I know there's always gonna be a mapping. Yeah, and also order. So for the windows, I have to use the arrays. So I don't know if the name exists actually. So I can do like method. Okay, which can be my const? Hello? Exists name term. I'm just, cause yeah, it's a bit weird. Cause yeah, the mapping and cause, yeah, oh, yeah, cause there's a common part, right? If I get the pointer, so removing from this vector is always the same. It's just from the name mappings. So I guess I could just implement the get window. Yeah, so I could just call a remove window and then get window. Not right. I mean, I'm already doing the check here, right? But I guess it's cleaner if I do it. Okay. I guess I'll leave it out. Right, and then in here I can just yeah. Okay, yeah, I didn't get it at first. Damn. So then I can just right, which is actually so for the windows I need to use the actual deletion method, the standard way. So then if it equals window, then erase and break, and then in order to delete, I can use my custom one, which is an internal include, so it uses brackets. Yeah, so I guess I can make this const. Yeah, that's another big question about memory now, right? Because actually I'm not specifying here something. Usually I add if like the library takes ownership or not. Because yeah, I thought about this earlier, and for me the core idea was that I don't think that the window manager should delete the windows. Yeah, because then what you can do is you can like add windows and kind of let the window manager manage them, but you can just, if you want, just remove them again, but only from the window manager, right? And the window just perfectly exists and you get back the ownership. Yeah, so yeah, I like that. So I just don't have to worry about it. Right, and then the another delete is just an optimized way, which avoids copying. Right, if you don't worry about the order, what you can do is you can just swap the element you want to delete with the last element, and then just remove the last element. And if you have a vector and you remove the last element, you don't have to move the other elements. And in this case, if you want to keep the order, we kind of do the same process I just did with the sorting, right? Where you have to copy the other elements around, which is obviously more costly. So yeah, you can just directly specify a container, which is the any mapping, and then a value. The problem is, yeah. So then what the method do is automatically iterates, finds the value and deletes it. Yeah. Problem is that I'm not using the exact value type. So if this would be a vector for int, I can just pass an int and it would search for the int inside the vector. If it finds it, it would remove the element that equals the given element. But I'm using a class that consists of multiple things. So what I do have, I can pass a value. In this case, I want the window. Then I can pass a predicate, which is, I don't know what's first. Here, so it's passed first the type and then my value. So it gets first passed the this one, and is it const? I guess that's mapping, and then my window, my type. Then I have to return a truth value. And if this value evaluates to true as predicate, then the value gets deleted. Yep. Pred. Okay, then I can return true. I mean, yeah, I want some truth value. Do I need it? Yeah, because I could still pass a point that it's not managed. So yeah, I guess I need another. dot, 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 and dot. Install a pointer, and then I can use the library. I don't want to. Okay, so I have this, and then I have the add window. Then the get window is fine. Then remove window. Sure. If okay. Otherwise, return true, because then it will be removed. Just window data, remove window. guess I can make it const. Right, can do that later. Remove window, set shown. So I can set. Alright, just delegate the call. Yeah, it's actually a little bit like this. Okay, so then in here. Right, so then I want to add more. I guess I actually want to make some sort of hash. Yes, now it comes to saving the data. I mean, what else is a hash? Can I avoid it? So yeah, I need to save the pointer and then the attributes. I guess I can't really avoid. Window pointer. And then shown set. Right. So, right. Set shown. Yeah, and then I can window data that shown set dot erase the window. So it's a const window. My god. Const correctness, am I right? Yeah, but I don't know, I like const correctness, as you can tell probably from the code. I am very, very pedantic about const correctness. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. Set shown if it's shown. Yeah, lol. So if it should be shown, then insert it. And it doesn't matter if it's already inside, right? This is something the method does for itself. You can, there's no point in checking contains. And then if not, we just erase it and this gets delegated. Here you, I guess you can insert it again and then just return the contains shown set. Yeah, we can avoid this old, if you've seen it quickly, the old syntax for checking if it contains. Which I actually guess I'm using, I don't know if it's actually in the C++20 set yet. Let me check. So I don't think it's in the, whoops, okay. I don't think it's in there yet. Member functions. Contains, okay, it's C++20. Yeah, so I would have access to it, but I'm using the custom type anyway. But it's crazy that it takes so long to add this method. I don't know. Okay. I wasn't sure, maybe it's in C++23, but it's 20 already. Okay, then toggle shown. This is why I have to check. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do the save for you. Yeah, so here. Damn, I mean, that how do you like know that? You know that I don't want to do that. It's that's not too bad. Yeah, and it is apparently local. Which again, I don't know. I guess I trust that, right? Because it costs to like do this. And I'm not paying anything for like the AI assistant in here or whatever, so they would have to do it locally. No, sorry. Just think. So first, yeah, maybe I want to assert this, assert that. Then I want to check exactly this, if it contains arrays, else insert. Okay, get windows, we have that. So now it actually gets interesting. This all just was too boring. And here we obviously, if I got that earlier, contains W with W draw. W draw. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so now this is where it kind of gets interesting a bit. Right, I'm actually completely ignored that. I don't have, again, I don't have any data storage yet. Right, okay, yeah, but we said we're gonna manage the order over the positioning in the vector. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Because then I can avoid another, like adding the mapping to this, or like, yeah, because I couldn't use a set aspect of that. Okay. So, and I guess I'm not get window is called here, which is here, and I'm here checking now. Look here, that's fine. Guess this is unlikely if we are being very strict. Because there's only one matching one, right? So most of them are gonna not be correct. Okay, so what does it mean to move in front of something? That it's drawn later, right? So the first element that's being drawn is the last one, like it's the furthest behind on the screen, right? Again, if I'm moving my window here, this window needs to be drawn last because it's on top, right? And I'm not, I mean, I'm not a graphics guy, you know. I'm like, there's some like, you could do like the C, could annotate like a draw call with like a C something, C buffer value, right? And I'm not that type of guy, right? I'm not doing that. I manage the order of the um, I manage the Z-axis based on that draw call order, you know, like real professionals. Yeah. Also the thing is I couldn't really do that because like this draw call just calls something from the user, and then the user calls other draw methods, and I can't control them. And then, of course, if I wouldn't use really LibreFull's custom backend, I could do something like all calls that happen from now on are gonna be in the C-axis. I could get really fancy, but yeah, why? It's fine like this. Okay, so we need to move the window back. Yeah, so we just need to reshuffle those windows. Okay, so the question is what happens to the other windows. So, okay, we did this in here. We could just kind of visualize it. That's actually something I'm not doing a lot. So, okay, well, we want to move the other window behind. So moving, so always use these, I don't know how to call them, paragraphs or something, short. Yeah, I don't care. So just always use these for like parameters to like reference them, right? Moving, moved, behind, in front of. Last drawn element is on top. Yeah, and this is obviously from the user side. So it's if the user says I want this to be in front, right? Then he means I want to see it on top of the object, which then for us means we have to draw it later. Okay, so then we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say this is like 3, and this is 5. Okay, so yeah, so now in this case we have 3, which is then drawn first. So it would be behind front. Yeah, but we want to move it behind. So I could just switch them in place, right? Yeah. But then yeah, but then I mean yeah. I mean it's a question, right? So what there's like a couple possibilities. What I could do, I could like I don't know, like maybe move 4 here and have like this. But I don't know if this makes sense. Yeah, I guess it's really just switching them, right? Or okay, so that's maybe also what I mean. So if I wanna move it, so the only really thing that the 3 has to end up behind the 5 here. Right, so what I could do I come out with the same thing here? So I like maybe I push it back and then I remove the old one. Yeah. So this is also what I could do. This is what I mean, kind of. So then 3 is drawn. And yeah, I think I like this kind of better. Yeah. Yeah, this is the actual proper way to do it. Add to back, or like add behind the element. Add behind element, and then remove old position. Okay, so then, because then 4, yeah, so previously 4 was behind 5. Yep, and this is still the case, right? So this then also like transitively makes sense, right? So if 5 is in front of 4 and I move 3 in front of 5, then 5 is still in front of 4, but 3 is in front of 4. Yep. Yeah, and the way to do it is then, right now, so now we described it, and now we just have to translate it in text, like in code. And yeah, this just means, yeah, describing an algorithm, so describing the operation in its atomic steps, and then just translating it into the syntax of the language. So the actual operation, I guess, is to use pushback, but then pushback would actually make the vector bigger and could trigger an allocation, and we might want to avoid that. So yeah, the actual operation is just the same as previous, what we did in the other implementation file, copying this to the front, because now we can just, I guess, assign it again to temporary. And yeah, just copy. Then copy, so what, copy what exactly, actually? Copy all elements after. All elements after 1 to the front. And assign which element actually, so we need to assign position of target element, right? Because this is like the target, I guess, so we have to save that. Okay, so let's do it. Yeah, and also just, by the way, I'm just thinking about it, but I mean, what we're doing here is kind of maybe sacrilegious, so why we say it, because we're modifying a vector, we are modifying the internal state of a vector without using the public accessor methods, right? So we can only really operate within the pointer bounds and stuff, right? But well, which is what we're doing. It's fine. Yeah, so again, it's our data. WinData, Windows.data. Win array. And double pointer is just confusing for me, but it's fine. It's just a type. Okay, so then yeah, we need to find the index equals 0, then for I size equal right, and this is a std vector, so it's not an int. I don't know, I recently read something about whether it was a mistake using because they're using unsigned, right? Yeah, size type. Size type should be unsigned 64. Whether it was a mistake to use like unsigned for sizes and stuff in the standard library, but I think what I've read, they said assigned type is kind of better, but you know, you can't really change it. anyone. Okay. So then, yeah, we need to find the index of the object in front of. So if when our I equals front, then we can break first of all, and our target index is I. We can again make the contains check, just give an index is invalid, internal error. I just always like to add that because that happens, it has nothing to do with the user in case it pops up. Okay, and then I have the target index, then I need to do a memcopy again. So we said we need to copy everything from, starting from, I guess this index. I'll actually behind this. Can I somehow find this out? Well, oh, that's also interesting. We don't know if they are actually in this order, right? For example, 3 could already be in front of, like behind in the vector. Okay, so yeah, there's some extra cases we have to take care of. I guess I'll check this first. So for like maybe with the found equals false, or is found moved. I guess I just looked if the name's correct. But I guess it's correct, right? Because the window is being moved. Yeah, I can use the iterator. Found moved equals true. If I mean, you can make the else if actually. W equals from. I mean, could be the same actually. If moved equals in front of. That's funny. Return. Okay. Okay, so found moved, and then so there's like 2 cases now, right? If I find in front of, and moved is not found. So, okay, let's what's this case? So in front of needs to be behind moved, because if in front of is in front of Jesus. Yeah, I mean it's also correct, but the problem is that the same words mean different things, right? Depending on a visual order or like vector order. But so strictly speaking in vector order right now, if the in front of element is behind our moved one, then it's correct. So if we find the in front of element and if and found moved, then it should be correct. But I guess I need to. Okay, let's just double check. I've not I'm not through yet. I don't approve yet. So if I iterate, if I find moved, okay, and then I find in front of, yeah, then I'm good. If I find in front of first, then moved is drawn later, thus it is in front. Thus, yeah, makes no sense. Okay. Damn. Okay, I actually was correct. Okay, so we checked these cases. Console pointer. And yeah, now it should be exactly as in our visualization. I guess I can make this const right, but I should actually make it here, because then it's automatically done on the right as well. Okay. Okay, so now I can do the copy. So I need to copy everything. Let's actually maybe make this like 4 and 2, so that it's not the last element. I don't want to redo everything though, just okay, fine. Like the 6, but the other 6 is just gonna be moved as well. So I need to find the moved index and the target index, and then copy everything behind to the moved index. In front 1. Okay, so sorry. The destination is then the moved index, and then the source is 1 after the moved index, and the size is the total size minus the moved index. That's just a 1 by off. Again, I have to count that. I'm just kind of annoyed that I have to find 2 indices. Is that really necessary? So if I I've kind of lost my train of thought. So, okay, yeah. So I mean, I already described it, I guess, right? And that's what needs to happen. So I guess I need both indices. So I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, fair enough. Then I can't break here. Well, actually, this is correct, right? If I found the target index, which is behind moved, which we already yeah, explained earlier. Okay, why is this not used? As okay, it's not accessed. Ach so, yeah, okay. Okay, and then generate. So now we kind of what we said. We need the win array, and then from so that's destination is the moved index. Yeah, so destination is moved, starting from the yeah, okay. So now it's but it's moved index plus 1, and then size of pointer times so yeah, the length, so the array size, which we need to deduct something from, minus okay, so specifically here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, damn, like 5, and then moved index stands 3, so we need to only copy the 2 elements. So the array size is just 5 minus 3, and then 2, so it should be fine. Okay. Just thinking, for example, here, if the move index is already the last one, right? But that's not possible, because yeah, because it has to be in front of the. That means it can't be the last one because there has to be an element behind it, right? But if this is the last one, so if our target index is the last one, yeah, I mean, it looks perfectly fine here. And then I can just assign the target index. When array target index equals our moved window. Why is that? Because this is cons. But I mean, it's only pointer sign. Right. But it was blue. You see that? So that means there's an operator invoked, which I don't want. It should not happen. Why is there? What is this? It should just be a pointer sign, no? I mean, I can also mem copy it. Just like what? Am I missing something here? I mean, I'm not doing like this, right? Like this, and would be a sign. But then I guess I also need to do this, right? Which then it likes. For some, yeah, I mean, okay. But I can't assign the pointer. I mean what? I mean, hey, I don't care. I'm just gonna copy it over there. Right, but I need to actually copy the pointer address. Maybe I'm actually missing something. So I have an array of pointers. I mean, I can just do an equals check here, right? Why does it return a reference here? What's going on? I'm confused. No. Yeah, I mean, this looks fishy. But I mean, I'm just assigning the pointer. I guess still get a single pointer here, a single pointer. Then pointer assign. I mean, I guess actually something different happens, right? This. I'm kind of. I mean, if I'm assigning one pointer to the other, that should just work. Why am I wrong? Mm. I don't know. I don't know. Is it then the same over here? I have to quickly check with ChatGPT to be sure. Okay, getting some mixed results. I don't know. I'll just test it, I guess. Let's see if it compiles. Okay, I'm getting all the namings, micro things. Okay. This is already related to our thing. Connect convert argument 2 from const. Right, it was a const. What? Does it actually want a const? Okay, a const. I can give it a const. Okay, get body bounds. Get top bar bounds. What does get window manager? Damn. Damn, I didn't didn't actually make this object yet. So the window manager. I'm just gonna live right here, right? In theory, I wouldn't even I wouldn't even have to like declare an object, right? It's inaccessible. I can just return a temporary, right? Guess I can make this friendly. Just return. Doesn't matter really. Right. I guess I can make this. I don't like it. I don't like statics. No method. There's actually no other way to do it. I guess not. Okay. And so the body bound. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. So the top bar is just return damn. But scaling. Cannot access that. Okay, then this is a problem. But if I make protected, the user can also in theory access this, right? Then I also don't need this anymore. Okay. So if it's the body, damn. Okay, I don't really want to do that right now, to be fair. Bounce like this. Include internal close hide it. So yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay, so top bar is saved percent, which actually then means 0.10. Is this already correct in the construct? It's mover height divided by age. The problem is that's relative. Yeah, I can't do that. To divide this by the actual height. Okay, and then I can get the x, y. So the body bounds are then starting later, so 8 plus over height. I guess I can make this shorter, but it's fine. Include the eyes. Okay, so yeah, the body is just the bounds, but they start later and the height is then shorter. Okay, and then for the top bar bounds, it's the Y, but the height's only the mover. Okay, let's check. What drawn heights class member. I mean, I guess it does, but yeah, I mean, like this, it's just cleaner. And I want the user to like use it, right? So I want to point them in the correct direction. Damn, this construct is not implemented. That's crazy. Can I like this? Okay, I forgot a few returns. No return. Okay. Okay. What seems to be the problem? Right, I'm accessing the wrong vector. What's the next problem? Nothing. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, where's the example? So I'm loading and then I'm drawing. Okay, so nothing is visible. I can. Add a new window to the window manager with a given name. Yes, default. Right, and then I can look back, and then I can set shown. Okay, I'm seeing a few things. Interesting. Oh, why is this even called? Oh, registered rock. Okay. Right, but I want to step through this method anyway. So object, we have the blue window here. It's already contained, that's good. Okay, now we go into here. So objects. So I have these four. It only shows me the first element here. Kind of wanna see them all. Use array and the size 4. Okay, so now I have my 4 windows, red, blue, green, purple. And now I'm registering a draw call for yeah, which one? 3 opt for blue window. Okay. So my blue window is on position 1, so it means it should already fit. Yeah, but I'm not checking. Did I forget this? If size equals null, turn or cont, yeah, equals opt. Okay. So yeah, I guess I forgot this check. So now my object is again the blue window. I can still see my array, that's nice. It should just return. Okay, so now I'm getting the draw call for the red window. The red window is not in front. Okay, now it gets interesting. What happens next? Gone sexual. Okay. Okay, my size is 4. Then I iterate. Nope. Now it should find it. Index is 1. Breaking. If the index is 0, I return. Yeah, I don't need that anymore. Then, okay, I fucked up the lines now. So then I'll do some copy. Okay, let's see. So destinations, I copy this up on front. And yeah, the last one. What's actually happened? What happens to the last one? What size of? I'm only copying one element. Front. That seems weird. Copy everything. Okay, so I want to move 3 to the front, right? So I assign a temporary, then I copy everything. Okay, yeah, just copy everything one back before. Right, okay. So I just copy these two back by one index. Okay, so yeah, I just need to move the, yeah, I just copy the first element to the second. And yeah, I just copy one element. So yeah, I'm just moving the blue window. So I'm getting the call for the red. So I want the red in front, and I'm copying the blue the second. So this should happen now. Okay, yeah. So I copied the blue to Zuck, and then I assign the red to the first. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, I guess this should work now, right? No. Okay, let's just redo it and get a clean error. So why does it fail? Okay, I have a couple purple windows. That's funny. Yeah, I guess I have to do it one by one and see where the error comes up. There's probably some. So blue should not change, then I get the red, blue, purple, green, so I get the purple now. So purple should be in front. Purple, red, green. So okay, so here the error happens. Okay, so with the purple one, whoops, okay, so what happens? I get purple. First of all, why do I get index? My index 2 is correct. Okay. So now I copy everything from the start. So everything before it. One back. Red. But why wasn't there a green? Why are there two reds now? Oh wait, then it gets. So red, blue, purple. It should just be then red, blue. Okay. I need to get here. So then red, and then blue. Red. Why? I mean, yeah, I'm shortly before using iterators, I'll be honest, but it's just. So in this case, our element index is 2, our size is 4. So I start from the top and I copy 2 elements. So red. So there was blue. I mean, it should work. So I'm starting from the front, red, blue, purple, green. Then I'm just copying +1. So I have red, blue, and I copy 2 elements. I mean, I don't really understand why it's not working. Maybe if I copy to the same memory that's being copied from, maybe that is that problematic? Maybe this is it. Okay, wow. Apparently it's undefined when this wasn't destination memory regions overlap. Interesting. I mean, I guess they do, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they definitely do. Damn. I mean, I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense. Otherwise, you would have copied it, right? Temporary copy. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of bad. I mean, then yeah, it is what it is. I guess just use iterators. Otherwise it gets really messy. Damn, sad. Okay, so auto it equals objects dot find. I mean, I don't this find use the ranges thing. I mean, I'm including all the shit. Okay, so start up front. Yeah, so really what I want, I just want to find the object, the position, then objects.erase, erase the it, objects.insert the it, but at the beginning. Damn, you know, it's 3 lines, that's crazy, but I don't know, it's boring. I guess that should work. It does, but you can't move them yet, but the position is already random. Yeah, so this is the top and this is the body. I mean, it's experimental, I guess. Are they the same order, right, each time? So green is in front, right? So yeah. Yeah, so green is always in front. So I guess the other right. So here is it. So I copy from the moved index to behind the moved index, which will always, pretty much always then be an overlap. Yeah. So. Guess I can leave this. Then here. So what I want to do now here is again auto target equals set windows. Again find I mean, this should work. Is it like, what is it? Window, and I'm getting a normal window, not a const. I mean, Just find right. Why did it work? Damn. Exactly the same. Damn. It's also not const or anything. Okay, so what I just need to do now is then get the other one moved. It's moved. Man, it moved it, and then just remove the moved it. Moved it. And then insert. So where? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna double check this. But that should, I guess, then insert it after, so behind. Damn, that takes a long time. It's pretty funny. I'm using the new ChatGPT 01 preview, which can think, and it shows you what it's thinking. It's analyzing resource availability, re-evaluating safety measures, recomputing iterators, refining window management, spotting iterator issues, addressing iterator invalidation. Damn. Thought for 55 seconds. Damn, it's actually true though. Iterate invalidation, right? If I first get iterate and then I remove it. Yeah, then I guess it's invalid. That's funny. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I can just get them the index, target index. Something like this. Don't want to see the size T. I hate size T. Jesus. Every time. Okay. So yeah, then I remove it, and then I need to use this syntax. Right, but this should work. Okay, let's test it. So then I want to do an update. If is key pressed. Key space. Then get window manager. Move in front of, for example, the red window, front of the green window, which we set. So is our front. Or if is key pressed, key escape, then we want to like move back, right? Okay, and this seems to work pretty nice. Moved window is already right when I press it multiple times. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's it for now. I guess I could have saved quite some time using iterators. But, I mean, it was fun visualizing that and then, formulating it, implementing it. And I'm pretty sure it was right. It's just that, there was an overlap. And obviously then, I mean, yes, makes sense that you can't copy the memory. I don't know, I just thought that, I don't know. I mean, I was pretty sure that doesn't make an internal copy, because it wouldn't be like C++. It would be more like, I don't know, Java, but even then, more like JavaScript probably. But yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, we did this. Other than that, just implemented window functions, manager, and then the window. Yeah. ST. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, that's it for the window manager. I guess then I'll add a window button and implement dragging some other time, and then that's pretty much it with the window manager. There's, I guess, some util functions, right, which is still missing, but that's no big deal really. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video hopefully. Bye bye.